Alright, what's going on, you guys? Brian here, and this is my quick recap of what happened last night at Rebellion from Impact Wrestling. I'm just going to give a quick recap and talk about specific matches that I would recommend checking out if you guys did not check out this show last night. Number one, there was a great six-man tag team match between Moose, Josh Alexander, and Ethan Paige taking on the Rascals, Trey, Dez, and Wentz. This one I thought was really exciting. It was the power and strength of Moose, Alexander, and Paige against the speed and agility of the Rascals. Moose, Paige, and Alexander picked up the win in this one, but this one was really exciting. I thought all six guys did a really great job in this matchup. So, hats off to both teams. Another one that I wanted to talk about was the X Division title match, OVE rules. Sami Callihan challenging Rich Swann. That saw Swann pick up the victory over Sami Callihan and putting to an end this feud between these two, hopefully. We'll have to wait and see on Impact this Friday to see if there's any more to this feud. But this one was a really great matchup as well. The story of the match was whether or not Rich Swann would cross that line and get as evil and dirty as Sami would. And he did exactly that. He used a barbed wire baseball bat that Sami introduced near the end of the match, and he used it. He applied a crossface and pressed the barbed wire bat to the face of Sami, and Sami had no other choice but to tap out, and Rich Swann is still the X Division champion. Another one was Tessa Blanchard taking on Gail Kim. This one I thought was a really great matchup, in my opinion. Both women proving, that they can compete on the same level as each other. Gail, she went in there and she hung with Tessa. Tessa hung with Gail. Tessa picked up the victory via submission with a straightjacket submission move, and making Gail Kim tap out to that submission move. And then after the match, she would hug her father, Tully Blanchard, who was sitting at ringside. And then, out of show of respect, and this is what I respected about this matchup, especially the ending, was she offered a handshake to Gail, and that is what I respect. I'd like to see that kind of respect between, two athletes, two competitors, because this matchup was really great. It was a really great matchup between these two. So hats off to both of them for putting on a great match last night. And then, of course, I have to mention the main event, which was LAX challenging the Lucha Bros for the Impact Wrestling World Tag Team Championships. Full Metal Mayhem, and once again, these two teams delivered once again in another great, incredible matchup, a great, incredible closing main event to this show last night. Both teams, literally hit each other. If you guys did not see this match, this is a match I would recommend checking out. These two teams really delivered, really hit each other with everything. There was ladders being used, chairs used, trash cans used, tables used, everything you could think of. One point of the match, they were LAX was gonna put Pentagon Jr. through a table on the ramp, but Phoenix tight-roped walked the top rope and hit a Spanish fly to one of the members. I don't know if it was Santana or Ortiz, off the ladder onto the ramp, and it was just, I mean, this matchup, if you guys did not check out this match, I would recommend checking it out, because it was an incredible main event to a really solid show last night. LAX walked out last night as a four-time Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions, defeating the Lucha Bros. And like I said, it was an incredible matchup. So, other action that happened, we saw the crowning of a new world champion as Brian Cage defeated Johnny Impact. Cage fighting off all the dirty tactics from Johnny Impact that saw Taya Valkyrie getting involved, Johnny Bravo, the referee that is in Johnny's back pocket. He got involved, and it looked like they were going to screw over Brian Cage, but Cage did not let that stop him. Lance Storm, who was the special referee, he wound up super kicking Johnny Bravo, knocking him out, and Brian Cage is your new Impact World Champion. Then out of nowhere, as Cage was celebrating, here comes Unbreakable Michael Elgon out to the ring. So obviously Michael Elgon has signed with Impact Wrestling. He came out, they had a stare down. He would wind up leaving Cage, laying with the sit-out powerbomb, and pretty much, so obviously Michael Elgon has his sights set on that Impact Wrestling World title. A little bit of news about Cage. Apparently after that match, he was rushed to the emergency room because he suffered a back injury in the match after Johnny Impact hit a Spanish fly off the ramp to the floor I believe it was in the middle of the match, and apparently Cage had some pain where he had some pain going down his legs, and showing how tough he is, he continued fighting. That shows something. Like, if you take, I mean, I'm not a wrestler, I'm just a fan, but if you've ever, it's just like, if you have, you ever take that kind of a move and, you hit your back and you can't, but you're still fighting, that shows he's tough, because he still kept going. He still continued the match, even though he was in pain, and, hopefully we find out more, as far as, what the, status is of Cage and, what other injuries he sustained. But Cage is your new world champion. We also saw Taya Valkyrie. She retained her Knockouts title over Jordan Grace. This one I really didn't care for very much. I hate to say it, I really did not care for it at all. It was an okay match, but I just didn't care for it very much. What else? I think I mentioned Moose and the North. Josh Alexander and Ethan Paige defeated the Rascals. That was a really exciting six-man tag. Ace Austin won a six-pack scramble, defeating Petey Williams' cousin Jake. Jake Christ, I believe it was. It was either Dave or Jake of OVE. Aiden Prince and Eddie Edwards in a six-pack scramble. And Scarlett Bordeaux, the Smoke Show, defeated Rohit Raju in a rare intergender match. I don't think I missed anything. I don't know for sure. Let's see. Yeah, that was pretty much it for the show last night. My overall thoughts on the show last night, I thought it was a really good show. The matches I mentioned, as far as, checking out, was the Lucha Bros LAX match And the Tessa Blanchard and Gail Kim are two of the main ones. I would also check if, for those of you that did not see Rebellion last night, I would recommend checking out also the six-man tag between Moose and the North versus the Rascals. I thought that was a really good match, as well as the X Division title match. So, overall, my overall thoughts on last night's show was, I thought it was a really good show. I thought, once again, Impact Wrestling really delivered on this event. For those of you that watched Rebellion last night, let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments below. And what do you guys think is going to happen this Friday night on Impact as far as the fallout? And so yeah, that's pretty much it. I thought the show was really good last night. So with that in mind, this has been my Impact Wrestling Rebellion recap and breakdown of what took place at last night's Rebellion event. As always, I am Brian, and thank you for watching.